It was a sense of release, in a sense. Obviously coming and winning the game. And I think I kept telling the gaffer I'm due a goal soon. No, serious. I said to him, I need to score, so he could kind of leave. Because we do shooting every Friday in the morning. So every time, well, I've been now with him since it started. But most days when I'm go out, every time you hit the ball over the net, you get a fine. So I've almost hit the ball over the net every time with that, no serious. You even tell you, every time I go in, and when you hit the ball over the net, it's a £5 fine. So every time I hit, I come in after spinning, I always get double, triple. I'm thinking, it's a £5, just let me pay the £5, not double it or triple it. But then obviously when I scored, I said, all them fines, you have to cancel it, it has to go off now, because that's exactly where some places in the drill, I get the ball, because my forte is like I got long shots on me. I said to him, I want to do one of the long ones. It's too short and close when I score too many from no. He's like, no, but you need to do the simple one first before you do the. I said, but let me just practice. But then I'll try and practice and I'll hit it in the goal. So yeah, it was a sense of relief that I've actually did that in the game. I mean, it's from Accrington and where I am, the standard is very good, and the way the gaffer demands of players and how you want things done is very good. And I feel like this is probably what I wanted in a long time. And obviously going to Accrington, no disrespect to Accrington, they're a great club, but organisation-wise, they're very, very good, especially with the gaffer. People that think like that, they always forget that this is football. I don't care who you're playing. If you can play in someone Sunday league, but if they prepare well for the game, there's no chance. You might beat them, but it'd be like 1 or 2. So I think, obviously from hearing that from the guys in the changing room, I'm thinking, well, never overlook like somebody who you're playing. I said, this football, anything can happen. And especially we're all professionals. Like, not once you ever step on a pitch and look at someone else and think, well, I'm better. You might think to yourself you're better than that person, but without you seeing what they can do, you can never ever judge somebody from just looking at them or the team. Okay, the budget might be low, but the heart's in the team. I can tell you that now. So people who's overlooking us, don't do it. Serious, don't do it, because you get hit with a blow like that. Okay, this mic. Right. When I say licked, this is when I first come, and it's a slang that we say back home. So instead of saying you punch something, or just say like I don't know how do I explain this for you to get it. So you see, if you want to hit something, yeah, like it's almost a term of saying lick, like I'll lick it, or like I'll lick you in a set. Like, just it's a terminology saying that you hit something. So obviously we're doing a drill, and this is when I first came. Someone shot and hit the keeper, saved it and it dropped, and I went to shoot, and he said no, he stopped the drill. So I'm like, well, why didn't you let me shoot? He was like, well, wait, we'll get to that bit. I was like, okay, when it drops next time, I'm licking, I'm not waiting for you. So that's what I said to him. so he's thought that over. That's followed me since I've joined. So almost a lot of things follow me, to be fair, but we're over that barrier now. When I came over to the country, it was difficult. The first, coming, I couldn't speak English properly. At 15, 16, I went to school, done my GCSEs when I couldn't speak English, almost to the point where I just sat there like this. No, serious, for 2 hours just looking at the paper. I mean, I answered some bits that obviously that when I came late in year 10 and then moving to year 11, like, because I remember some of the things that we did in year 10, so I kind of like memorized some of them, and I kind of fill in the first hour. I'm like this, okay, I'm very smart at looking at these. And I turn the page off, I'm thinking, oh no. All right, this is gonna be the longest 3 hours of my life. So I just sat there and looked at the paper. After school, I went to Across. So it looks like Accrington was stuck to me for a bit, to be fair. So I went to the college system, and then I was 16, turning 17, And they was like, oh yeah, we'll give you a scholar, da da da. So I was there for 8 months, they didn't give me nothing. I ended up leaving there, went to Burnley, nothing. Chasing football, this time now waking up at 5 in the morning, you catch one bus, you miss the bus, you have to call in and say, listen, I'm ill or something, or you're just gonna take that day off. Because when you miss that bus, the next bus would take you in, you won't get there till like 10, 11. What's the point going in? You missed half of the day already. So that was the kind of thing we were doing back then with me and my friends. I left from Burnley, and then I met an agent called Kevin Go. He then he took me to Bournemouth. To be fair, he helped me a lot. First I went to Bournemouth, and then when Burnley heard that I'm going to these academies and trials, they then put me on a trial with the academies. But this time now, when I went to Bournemouth, I went with the 23s instead of the 18s. So then I went with the 23s. I came back to Bournemouth, they put me with the 18s. I said, no, well, I've been with the 23s. Why should I play with the 18s? So this time now I had a bit about me. They said they were going to sign me, so the week later they were going to do everything and sort the paperwork. I ended up going to Newcastle. But going to Newcastle, I think, is the best thing I've done because it's taught me a lot. Well, football-wise, learning the game-wise, and growing-wise. I mean, I didn't get what obviously I wanted, which is to play for their first team, but who cares now? I'm at Livingston. Not really. You just play here and there, but it's like you don't class that as football. It's like messing around with your friends, you know. So it's almost that. I've never played 11-a-side game at all until I came to this country. But then I started off Sunday League, Reddish North End, and then obviously it just started then. Nah, not really, you know. Looking at that, right? Let me tell you a story now. This is when I was young and I first came. This is what really inspired me about football. So at year 10, late year 10, obviously I wasn't like book smart because I never ever went to school in my country. So I didn't go to school until when I came here. So that was one of the things. A lot of people would say, oh, like, but I don't look for excuses, sort of thing. So when I came, a lot of people played for City, likes of United, likes of like all these other teams, right? But then there's this thing we used to do on a Friday. So every time they get a day off or something, they'd come to the Friday thing it was almost like a community thing they would put together where everyone play on a Friday. So I'm not gonna name names, but there was these people that turns up to these things and almost like used to like almost the overlook bit, almost just look down on everyone else. So then I sat there one day, because then you go to them to try and, because they separate the groups, the academy players with the academy players, the non-academy, and the Sunday leagues with the Sunday league sort of thing. So one day I didn't know where to be, so I almost ended up where the academy players should have went. So I turned up now, they was like, well, you can't play here, you're not good enough, they'll go down, move. I looked at him, I said, bro, today is today. You never know what happens tomorrow. And he said, what do you mean by that? And then luckily, the guy that organized the thing, he's seeing a bit of me, so he said, go and play with him. So the guy that told me to go down, I was waiting for him. The whole game, the whole thing, I was just standing marking him. Every time he gets the ball, I'll kick him. Every time he gets the ball, I'll kick him. Every time he gets it, I kick him. Like, that's how, even during that, right, during that time, me and him built a relationship, because obviously now he's not playing for anyone, but we built that relationship because I had the heart. Every time he had the ball, I'd kick him. I'd take it, no serious, I'd take it off him. And then after the thing finished, my team won. I went in front of him. I said, what was that again? What did you say? Oh, no, you can't talk now, can you? Go through that door, you've got training tomorrow. Leave me to my Sunday league. So obviously me and him go through that all day. But yeah, that's what builds a character. So since then, I've had that determination to become a footballer. So every day, like when it's raining, and these are things that I never ever told anyone. In the back of my school, there's like a little playground thing. So after school, every time everyone go home, I take a ball, because you know them times kickers is about. So my mum brought me brand new kickers. I went into school with it. playing on the concrete. This is lunchtime. I went to boot the ball. I've missed the ball. And my shoe flew off and went on top of it. No, serious, my shoe flew off and went to the top of the thing. So then, this is how that started. So then I couldn't go home because my mum just bought it for me. So I just started hanging around. So I was thinking, what do I tell my mum? And then I had the BBM that time, she called my phone. She was like, when you coming back home? I'm like, I'm coming, I'm just looking for something, but I didn't tell her what it was. So obviously I ended up going home, walking on one socks. One socks and my foot, no kick is another one. I went back, she told me, she said, I'll buy you another one, but please don't do it again. But she understood, you know, she knew I was having it hard in the school and whatnot. So then I went back for the kickers, even though she said she'll buy me a new one. So then I took the ball with me when I was going. So this is how everything started. I got the kickers, I came down with the ball. And I said, well, I've got the kickers now, I've got the ball, what do? I just started kicking the ball around, bouncing it off the thing, touch, doing all sort of thing. And that's how that started. No one knew, so it became a habit where every time after school, I'd go back and just do it. So just from getting the kickers, and I just kept doing it, and I felt like that helped me a lot through my life. And now, when things are going tough for me, that's what I turn to. Like after school training or after training sessions, or I'd stay back till late. But I think here, they're a bit more lenient. It's like, oh, you can't stay too long. When I'm doing something, I go back in. Fair enough.